Why do people go to YouTube for help manifesting? Why do they watch YouTube? What prompts this talk that I'm going to do? Well, I watch people on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. I have my own channel. I watch other people. I watch other YouTubers, not only in other areas, but also in the area of manifesting. I like to compare notes, things like that. I know what's worked for me. I know that I have work to do in my own life. I never claim to be perfect or have all the answers. What I do is I use Neville Goddard for guidance. Neville Goddard, Joseph Murphy, people like that. I think I've manifested quite a lot intentionally, what I've set out to do. I've had a good measure of success with that. Am I 100% where I want to be? No, it's a process, for me at least. So, and the other thing is, I don't ever intend to do coaching on this stuff. I don't ever intend to ask people to directly pay me money for things like that. Now, I was on Reddit. Reddit is a toxic minefield, but it also has some information. It's another social media platform. It's kind of like a bulletin board system with different, what they call subreddits for different topics. It's like channels for different things. So, in the law of attraction, law of assumption area, there's a lot of criticism for, certain YouTubers and sometimes YouTubers in general, where, people say, well, this one's not asking for coaching. And then the other people say, yeah, but they're making money off clicks. Well, if you're monetized, it's nice to make some money off of the clicks to at least compensate you for your time putting together the videos. Trust me, unless you're getting millions of views, you're not making a lot of money off of that. You're just not. You get maybe a couple of cents per click. It's nothing. I mean, just to make $100 a month, you need a lot of views, so you're not getting rich off that. It's just a little bit of payback. So don't get all, for you people tend to get outraged. Don't get outraged about that, unless you get millions of views. And even with a certain low millions of views, you might not make that much. You probably can't make a living at it, okay? So that's number one. Number two is, as far as the people doing the coaching, look, they want to do that. They want to sell that. I'm not into that. Now, I'm not out to criticize other YouTubers, but I just will say that, if there's tons of clickbait headlines, when you finally watch the video, you're like, in many cases, it's like, what did I just listen to? What value did I get from that? And it's really, a lot of times the only value is they get from people watching it, at least from my, and a lot of the comments on some of these larger channels, it's almost like they're paying for comments, because a lot of the comments ring hollow. Like, you read them and you can see right through them that they're generated. I think some people do that. So there are out and out charlatans out there. I'm not going to name anybody. You can figure that out yourself. Be smart about this thing, okay? I primarily like to share the words of Neville Goddard and people like him. And sometimes I throw in my own, my own anecdotes, my own examples, things like that, to help you along the way. I'm sharing this stuff because it's a passion for me. It's a passion for me, and it helps me along my journey as well. I don't believe any one person has a complete, lock on the truth, and that goes for even Neville Goddard himself. Neville Goddard was a human being, but he was very profound, and he's like one of the OGs, the original gangsters, for this type of material. So I love Neville Goddard. I absolutely adore him. You can even see in his work, from his earlier work to his later work, that he sometimes evolved how, what he was teaching. He evolved along the way. He didn't start out one way and end the same way. There was an evolution in his teachings as well, and how he explained things. Just be rest assured that anybody who has a YouTube channel, unless they're getting millions and millions and millions of views. Anything they're making from clicks or even selling merchandise through links that are in their video descriptions, unless they're getting a huge giant number, they're really not making much off of that, if anything. So don't worry too much about that as being the big motivation for this whole thing. It's just what they call, it's like gravy, it's like icing on the cake, if anything. I have a career. I work in the technology industry. I have a six-figure career, and that's where I make the bulk of my living. And I am working on this stuff. I am having fun with it, with the whole idea of manifesting and creating more abundance for myself. But even my career, where it is right now, I attribute like 100% to my manifestation successes in the past, which led me to where I am now. I certainly don't rely in any way, shape, or form on this YouTube channel for any kind of sustenance or, anything really. It's a creative outlet that I truly, truly enjoy sharing this stuff with the community at large. It gets a little disheartening when you get some negative comments, you get some angry people come in, and you can't make everybody happy. As far as the AI voices are concerned, look, if I find material from Neville that is written only, I have pretty much three choices if I want to share it. I'm either going to read it in my flawed voice, right, with my stuttering or messing words up as I'm reading it with background sounds, motorcycles going past the house, my dog's barking in the background, or my wife all of a sudden yelling, "Hey, what are you doing?" Stuff like that. Or I could use some other AI voice to read it, or I can use the Neville Goddard type generated voice that I created to read it. It's a little robotic. It's not Neville himself reading it, but it is in his voice and pronunciation for the most part. I prefer that. If for some reason that bothers you, then go elsewhere. Have fun. I'm just saying that I think out of the three choices, that's the best choice. I enjoy using that to recreate his written work in something akin to his voice. Okay, we know it's not him really reading it, but it's. I find it fun, and I think most people probably enjoy that. But you're always going to get somebody who doesn't like it for whatever reason. Oh well, you cannot please everyone, and I'm certainly not going to try to please every single person out there. Sometimes when it messes something up, I have to go and recreate that part of it because I am somewhat of a light perfectionist. Like if you put a word in all capital letters, sometimes it sneaks in, the thing doesn't pronounce it correctly, and you have to go back, cut that part out, and have it recreated with it written in a certain way so that it's pronounced the correct way. Like for example, if the text has "I am" written in capital letters, it'll say I AM, like that. It'll say the letters. It won't pronounce it. So I have to go and fix it. A lot of times I'll add little pauses here and there to prevent it from just going on and on. But in a large text, it's kind of hard to get every single thing out of there. I do my best. It takes a lot of my personal time to do this stuff. And a lot of times I have my wife complaining in the background, "Is that what you're doing today?" She doesn't really understand this stuff. So, "You're playing on your computer all day?" "Yes, dear, I'm playing. I'm just playing here. I'm having fun." I do this stuff because it's a passion of mine. So I carve time out of my personal life to bring this material and find material that's not being shared so that I can share it in a way that people don't want to go out there and read this stuff. They don't want to search it out and read it, most of them. They'd rather just go on YouTube and be able to listen to it. So here I am trying to help them out that way. But ultimately, I enjoy it. It's on some level, it's a creative outlet. I enjoy it. And I hope that most of the people who see this material enjoy it and appreciate it. And that's that. It doesn't really cost you anything except your time to listen to it. I'm not charging any kind of fee. YouTube has their ads. You watch the little ad, you click continue, and then you see the material. I don't have mid-roll ads enabled to keep it somewhat not, non-intrusive. If I didn't run ads, they'd run ads anyway, so I may as well make a few cents on it. That's just the way I look at it. So anyway, these are just some things I wanted to just generally address. This doesn't come really from a sense of frustration. It may sound that way. It really isn't. I was just on the internet reading complaints about somebody else, actually. And this person in question that they were complaining about is a big YouTuber in this area. You know, they have their ads enabled. They have a large following, probably almost 100,000 followers. And they sell coaching and all this stuff on the side. And this person has a fair amount of critics out there calling them a scammer for various reasons with their coaching thing. But this person also provides a lot of value in their videos, and I have actually gotten value from their videos. You shouldn't, what I'm trying to say is don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's what some of these people do. They find something they don't like or that they don't agree with or that they think this person may have done, I don't know. While I think you should be honest with everybody, whatever this person did, they did. But that, for me at least, that doesn't diminish their entire offering on YouTube. This person has a lot of videos and gives a lot of value. And I've gotten a lot of value back, and it's helped me to understand and decipher some of this stuff. So there's definite value in there because I know what I've gotten from it. You should always go into this stuff with your eyes open and your mind open and look for the most positive, because people out there, if they're on a negative side of things, they're always going to find negatives with everything. So I don't know. It is what it is. You get what you put into it, and I mean, as for someone scamming them, I don't know what to say about that. I don't go in for coaching. I don't pay anybody for anything, so that doesn't really affect me. When I watch YouTube, I watch YouTube. I get what I get from the video, and and that's it. So anyway, most of my videos are sharing Neville's information. I don't think Neville's value can be really questioned all that much. And sometimes, like I said, I throw in my own anecdotes. This particular video here, I'm just kind of addressing all this stuff at once to try to, I guess, put people at ease in a way, or at least try to say, hey, understand that you're also manifesting this stuff yourself. Like, everybody is you pushed out, including the YouTubers. I'm you pushed out, and you're me pushed out, and this other YouTuber, his critics are him pushed out, his fans are him pushed out. It's a very complicated, it's like a ballet, right? This whole, what we call reality, 3D reality. We need to keep this stuff in mind. Uh, You're not a victim of anybody. There's nobody out there to victimize you. People tend to fall right back into the same old patterns of this one is doing this and this one is doing that and they're trying to scam me and blah, blah, blah. At some point you have to step back and say, whoa, I'm getting sucked back into the whole hologram or simulation, so to speak. Your predominating thoughts or fears on something are going to play out in certain ways. So be aware of that. Be aware of your own mind and your own thoughts on things, your own mental diet. And that totally includes when you watch YouTube. You understand where I'm going with this? Because this is ultimately where this whole talk is ending up. I'm telling you, your own mental diet, your own biases and things play out in how you experience even something like YouTube and even other social media. So anyway, I hope somebody gets a certain amount of value out of this, and I'll see you in the next video.